この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am here for episode 21 of Great Pretender. We are on, it's episode 21. We watched a couple of episodes, and as far as I can tell, we have wrapped up the past arc, which showed us the relationship that Laura had built over time, and the formation of this whole squad of con artists, and the way that their job went deeply south, and demonstrated to us that Oz, Edamame's father, is not in fact a genuine bad guy, but has been in deep cover for like 10 years, and I'm a little suspicious of it, but whatever. I thought it was a pretty good set of episodes. I'm excited to see what happens next. We've got 3 episodes remaining, so one of two things is going to happen here. Either we're going to watch one episode or we're going to watch 3 episodes, and I'm not sure which, but I'm kind of leaning toward watching one episode just because I'm getting back into the groove of things after being sick for a couple of weeks, and consistency, I think, is more important at this point than, like, big stretches of episodes. So we'll see, and we'll play it by ear, and it'll depend on how we get cliffhanged and whatnot. But if there's enough to talk about in this episode, we might just watch the one. If not, we'll watch probably all 3, because I don't want to leave just one episode in the finale hanging and whatnot, whatever. In any case, we are transitioning from the past to the present. Bunch of shit has happened, and a bunch of characters have died, and I'm not sure if they've actually died, including Oz the father, and I'm not sure if he's actually dead either. I don't know what's going on. Well, we are sure that he's not dead because he shows up later. And that means that, like, nobody has died, and everything's a scam, and everything's a sham, and everything's a con. But how, and what's the goal, and how is this going to play out, and what's the end game, and I don't know. Also, we've been watching Edamame slip deeper and deeper into this criminal organization, having gone through some pretty traumatic events and then sort of being reshaped and remolded by these evil criminals. And you can say that some of that stuff is a little bit hand-wavy, and it's like, is that really realistic to how people really act? Does somebody like Edamura change on a dime over the course of like a couple of months just because he got betrayed a bunch of times? And the answer is, maybe. But I don't really know. Yeah, I just don't really know. In any case, we're starting off on episode 21, and I think we're going to jump back to the present. I can see the very first frame, and it looks like we're on Cynthia's island. So I don't know what this scene will be or where in the timeline it will be. Maybe it'll be like, oh, after they got shot and stuff, they're just all hanging out here and just like waiting for their next part to play in the whole mission. But I don't know what it's actually going to consist of. So let's give it a watch, and we will find out. So I've got, regardless of whether I watch 1 episode or 2 or 3 episodes, within a couple of weeks, there will be a new poll for the slot on this Friday slot. So if you are opinionated about what you want to see, come and join us on the Patreon, and you will be able to vote in that and stuff, and that's a good thing to do. Voting matters. Also, Happy New Year's. It's the 31st today, and that's cool. I don't know if I'm doing anything for New Year's Eve. I kind of doubt it. But yeah, it's New Year's Eve. Happy New Year, happy 2022, almost for me. Already for some people in my Discord, and soon for other people in the world. Cool. Let's watch episode 21 of Great Pretender. I've got it up and ready to go. It's 0 seconds. There will be 2 versions. Picture-in-picture in the description. Timer on YouTube. Beep timer to count us down. Early access on Patreon as usual, or potentially a poll on Patreon. Who knows? That's it. Beep timer. Let's go. Who is that? Oh, hi everybody. Beer for breakfast and pro wrestling. Is it Oz? But she knows. There's this moment. True. Pop. Pop in the pop. Ice cold killer. He's fine though. Yeah, oh my god. Dude, Kim Chi-won is too cool. Yoink. Thank you. Wait, was that... Did she just drop off a fake body? As part of that... Wow. Crazy. Hmm. Because he didn't have weights on him, right? Yeah, for sure. Senior citizen who just went scuba diving like a beast. Huh. Hmm. Okay. Okay. Already the rapport is there. That other one there. But he's not in on it. Of course you did. Yeah, that seems to be his best trait. Yeah. Right. That's the biggest issue. Still kind of is. Pinocchio? Harsh but true, Abby. It's fucked. I think it's fucked up. I actually think it's fucked up. I disagree. I think this is this is actually psychologically damaging. Yeah, like deeply psychologically damaging to Edamura in a way that I don't think is forgivable. Not at this point. Which he goes and does. Oh, Liu, right? For the Mahjong? Okay, there's our OP. Okay, so we're just seeing the same events from the other side. We're doing a little flip. It's sort of like a soft transition. I kind of expected us to be sort of running and gunning as soon as we got into this sequence. Or like back to the present. It was okay. I still had this huge qualm about the like emotional and psychological damage done to Edamura by abandoning him and causing him to, as far as he knows, kill his own father is like, it's not recoverable. That's not something you recover from. And then putting him into the clutches of a like powerful, manipulative organization with a powerful, manipulative leader. Ugh. It squiggles my nibbles. I don't know what that means, but that's what it does. All right, it's the whole squad now. Yeah, but you're stupid, Chen. I do wonder at this point how he got that scar, though. Nani? My old friend? How convenient. Ooh, that's a lot of crab. Clickety clackety cribbity crab. Ew. I'm a professional con man. You know. Wow, cool. That's a reasonable story. Hmm. Hmm. Brother of mine. Family, huh? Oh yeah, what did that old lady tell her? Oh, that's not what she said. It's close. I mean, it kind of is. It kind of is. Any fucking time. Let's go. Makoto's room, smoking. Yep. Okay. Yeah. Shit. Oh, yep. See, it's not good. It's not fucking good, man. This is not. This is not the way to have done this. Hmm. Hmm. That's a different translation, but okay. It was a bad fucking decision, man. Wow, he's just gonna take that. Yes. He's still wearing the ring again. But not for you. Just because it's an order. Damn. Harsh, 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 harsh. But I understand exactly why it is this way. Is he gonna rat? Is he gonna fucking rat? That's the question. Where does his loyalty actually lie? Ah, that's some horror shit, dude. Please. Yeah. Okay, this is the lady's house. Ah, a little kitty cat cup. Again. Still cute. Blue Mountain. Oh wow. If you'd like. Aha. Sure. Does it have a bug in it? Oh, she's gonna physically put it on him. You tied a shitty knot, bitch. Sorry. It's not a shitty knot. Oh, it's a cat tie. Oh. That's cute. I hate it. I hate it. All right, here we are. It's a video conf. Cool, cool. That makes sense. Way safer. Not here. Oh, is she turned around? Is it just a power play? Make them wait even though they shouldn't be waiting? Or is it going to be him? Yeah, it's just a power play. Hmm. I think it's fucking intentional, dude. It's a power play. Hi. Hey. Sashiburi. They're both they both hold all the cards for the translation. That's crazy. Okay, want to speak to you in person. Whoa. That's not what she said. Right, because you planted those seeds. It's all acting. Insubordinate. Insubordinate. How dare they? Grr. Grr. They control all of the info. All of those conversations that we had before. They're both gonna send. They're both gonna send a fuckload of money to each other and we're gonna steal it? All from both of them? Yo, what? Hmm. Sure you will. Oh? Which they haven't been doing. And both of them know just how to get under each other's skins. Right. Pride, pride, pride. Also the ears. Yep. How are his ears so big? Uh that's perfect. It's a little too true, right? Except you'll bring Laurent and you'll bring Edamura. Come and bow to me, Liu. Ugh. Bad idea. Yeah, let's go play Mahjong. Let's go drink and play Mahjong. Shikashi. We're gonna actually pay them the money. Just driving this wedge into the organization, splitting them. Okay, I'm scared of that. I'm scared of that. I feel like this guy is the guy to figure something out and unravel everything because he's way too dedicated, right? Like he's not that bright, but he's way too dedicated. Okay, what's going on here? Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Uh, It's a one-upmanship deal. Oh, as I expected. A big fucking chair. Oh. Well, it's not set up yet. Then why'd you fucking tell her about it, dum-dum? You fucking idiot. What's it supposed to do? That was a TV. Not always. That's not always true. Oh god, they're both coming up with these ideas. It's a hypnosis compliance serum? Jesus. Jesus. We're getting into some weird shit. This is weird. Oh, here we are drinking again. Drink more, drink more, drink more, drink more. What a shitty pour. What a shitty pour, dude. You gotta learn how to do that right. He's still all floopy. That's great. I wonder who her son actually is, also. Who was that? Okay, here we are, so we'll find out. Oh, okay. Sure is. That seems to be the goal. Or a wizard. Yeah, but wizards are close. The clone spell can do wonders, people. Yeah, that's still the core problem. Mm-hmm. That Oz guy? Right, so how much have you lost? I really like that background. Yep, it's impossible to avoid it. Yeah, that's gotta hurt. Probably. Wearing the tie or just looking at it? Does it have a bug in it? I don't think so. We're coming to the end of this episode, aren't we? Oh, fuck. Ah! This shit's horror movie stuff. I don't love it. Alright, some cool things in this episode, for sure. Really did take till the end of the show until all of that makes sense, right? It's kind of cool. We understand that it's Dorothy. And that it always has been. A bada bing, a bada bang, a bada 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 boom. Okay. So there are some crazy plots and ploys on 3 sides from 3 different angles going on now. The Japanese side of the business is planning to destroy and murder the Shanghai branch. The Shanghai branch is planning to pierce, drug, and get to acquiesce the Japanese branch, and both of them are going to bring an actual quantity of money to this meeting because they're both afraid that they will get found out and like they have to do it legitimately for real. And so our heroes, insofar as they are heroes, are, I think, going to try to swoop away with all of the money and leave everybody else with nothing and cause both organizations to completely destroy each other. Fucking sick. My favorite part of this episode is that over the last couple of episodes, we've spent a good bit of time presenting this idea that those who control the flow of information, namely translators, are the ones in real power if they wish to be in any dialogue or discussion. And we finally get to see that all come to fruition in this episode with the Zoom call, basically a Zoom call. It's not until this point that we get the full bore ability to fuck with translation, and we get both translators on both sides on the same team saying, like, having their own conversations, like completely obfuscating what the other side is saying in the interest of giving one narrative to the person next to them in order to create a conflict that works on both sides and makes sense on both sides. And the way that both of them manipulate and dig under the skin of both parties, like using Akemi's, like Edamame goes for pride and dignity and how they're insulting that, and on the other side they go for other things. It's like, it's just perfect manipulation, and I think it's really, really excellently portrayed and presented to us as a whole deal and thing, and it works really well. I will say that my favorite visual scene of the episode is this one. I think it's gorgeous. We get this shiny light from this lantern, this orange block coming out of the windows, this yellow block from the windows, and then all of it shifting into reds on these trees in the background. I think this is fucking gorgeous. It's also got some classic like tunneling stuff with all these like guidelines that bring us down and into this portion of the actual projection of the screen. And I think it's just excellent. I think it's really good. Okay. Let's go through the episode. So we started at our start. We go through some stuff. We're talking about the nature of what we have done and the potential regrets that we have around doing this to Makoto. Yeah. I don't think I need to overstate my case here. I think it's pretty clear to everybody watching that there's something a bit wrong here. Not only is there something wrong with the actions taken by Oz, and by the rest of the group, the way that they pull the wool over Itamura's eyes, and the fact that they put him in this situation. But there's also, I think, something wrong narratively with it. There's like fiat happening, and what I mean by that is I'm using a term from sort of from D&D, but also from like debate. Fiat is just making something happen, regardless of whether it would happen organically. Does that make sense? So it feels like there are a couple things. One, I don't think that there's been enough time or enough going on here to turn Itamura completely. Now, I guess the show is sort of preying upon that, and that's what causes him to align himself with us. But he did make some phone calls, and we don't know who he called there. So that's a very scary moment for us, because he may be just seeming to go along with the plan while not actually going along with the plan. But there's a bit of what I think is kind of fiat going on with like, oh yeah, Itamura is just going to become a member of this crime organization over the course of a couple of months because of a traumatic event. Is it possible? sure. It's not outside of the realm of possibility completely, but it feels like it feels to me, and this is my opinion, this is not necessarily a true fact about this show, it feels more like a narrative convenience to get all our players into the position that we need them to be in, rather than an organic story, which some of the other seasons have felt a little bit more organic to me. But there's something else to it, which is that I do think that there has been enough that's happened to Edamura that is so deeply traumatic and like genuinely putting him in a, it's not quite, I'm just using the colloquialism here, it's not actually what this is, but a sort of a Stockholm Syndrome-esque situation where he is traumatized by essentially a captor. He cannot escape this situation and still generates a relationship with them. There's a different syndrome for when you're undercover and you become like turned, but I don't have the time or the desire to really go and look that up right now. If you know what that is, let me know. I'm down to understand more about that, but I think I can get the point across without looking up specific terms or definitions. I think it's fucked up what they're doing to Edamura, and I don't think that anybody really recognizes it except maybe for Abby. And that's a weird thing because Oz should recognize it more, I think. And he does to some extent, but he doesn't take it as like, he still expects that Makoto will like go along with the plan to some extent and be a pawn to some extent. I don't know, man. It seems super duper 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 fucked up to put this young kid in this position. It seems also very different from putting him in the position during season 1. And I get that we're trying to recreate that sort of an experience where he was kind of on the outside. But even if we were trying to do that, we throw it away by bringing him back into the fold and into the plan with his father bringing him in. And so I don't get what the point is of just hurting this character to get him into position, I guess. I don't know, man. But it's very different from what we did to Eddie Cassano. And it's not good to have put Edamura in this position where he is forced by circumstance, betrayed by everyone he knows as far as he knows. Everyone else he knows is dead, like Cynthia and Abby die because of him. And the only person he can get any comfort from because of the way that things are put together is Akemi, this highly manipulative sort of badass lady who is kind of a badass, but is also a highly manipulative, extremely serious criminal willing to go to any end for her purposes. I don't know, man. I don't know. I just don't like it. And again, that's my opinion, and it's fine, and you can disagree with it, but I just don't like treating a character like this and then expecting them to go along with our plan. Like, Edamura Makoto is damaged for life because of this. This is therapy forever. Like, there's no getting over this. And you might be flippant about it and be like, no, he'll be fine now that he knows that his dad was on the side of right. Like, no. His whole childhood, his entire life was altered by the fact that his dad chose to stay away. And that's part of why he's so fucking pissed at him. But his life has been dramatically and like insurmountably, irretrievably altered again by the circumstances and trauma surrounding these events. Watching people he knows die hardcore and then killing his father. Like, again, it doesn't matter that he didn't, it really, truly, in no way matters that he didn't actually kill his father. That he had to get to the point where he believed he should kill his own father is too much for a human brain. He's not okay anymore, and he never will be. And I think the show doesn't address that effectively. I mean, I get it. He smokes now, and he's like kind of different in the way that he acts a little bit now, but there's no remorse from anybody except his father, who seems to regret stuff, but that's all tied up with his whole family thing. And I guess I'll give credit where credit is due. It makes this complicated relationship feel complicated, which it is, but I think it's a little bit flippant about destroying a human being, which is what they've done. They've destroyed Edamura Makoto. And they're going to fiat him being A-okay at the end of this. I'm sure of it. I'm sure that at the final episode, Edamura Makoto is going to come out and they're all going to be wealthy, and it'll be just like the Kasano job where they come out and like, oh wow, it all worked and we're hanging out on this island and shit. And that doesn't read as true to me. I think that Edamura Makoto is never going to trust another human being in his life. Like, if this were a real circumstance, Edamura Makoto would never trust another human being in his life. He would have trust, commitment, relationship, familial, parental issues for the rest of his goddamn life, and it would ruin him in one direction or another. And I don't think that that's present in the story. And I get that we're fiating that because it's a story and we want to tell a fun, heisty story, but I think it really bugs me and it seems fucked up. That's my piece. Okay. So Laurent lies like it's air. You know, my mother passed away 2 years ago. I think this is pretty specific and is the kind of thing that like Liu could go and look up about him and like find out is not true, but he won't. There's an aura of trust here and family here to some extent. So he lets him in and brings him in, and that's great. Okay, do you want to play some Mahjong? Let's play some Mahjong. And we come back here. I've already sort of talked through this. Some of it reads as correct to me in terms of the way these characters think about each other. I wish you'd sunk to the bottom of the bay, yada yada. I'll listen to your lame excuses. And the sort of look in his eyes, the view he's got. But more than anything, he's mostly mad about the leaving, you know, the childhood trauma, the older trauma. And the newer one hasn't really sunk in, I suppose. So don't ever try to act like my father again. I'll never trust you again. Fine. I'll do this just like I'm told, but only because it's what I've been told to do. And then he makes a phone call, and I don't know who he's calling. And it's quite suspicious who he's calling. And quite scary. So this fucking jump scare is some shit, I just gotta say. Fully terrifying. Fully horrible. Just weird. And it, I guess, implies to us that Laurent has been doing everything for her up until this point and through this point, and that's interesting. Okay, the necktie is intriguing, and I'm curious as to whether there's a bug in it or any lack of trust. I think not, because it's the sun's necktie and all that jazz, but I don't know. And then we get our, I guess it's a Skype call because of the buttons at the bottom, so I guess it's a Skype call. I love this power play. I love that they're just not there at the moment. I also love the joke about it. Like, don't worry about it. She's just old and has to pee a lot is a very good way of diffusing that tension and getting them all to have a little giggle together about their extremely powerful, genuine enemy on the other side of this thing. Well, I suppose not really an enemy yet, but soon. So both Laurent and Edamura play perfect actors as translators, telling them complete lies, demonstrating complete surprise at everything that Akemi says, or supposedly says, even though it's not what she's actually saying, and just back and forthing in insanity. I think it's wonderful, and I think it works super duper well. And I love the way that they think all of it through when they have the chance to be alone and be off camera. At the end of the day, we're just the dog. It's not about money, it's about our dignity. And they both, both digging into the personal side. Liu desperately doesn't want to be the lapdog of somebody else. They desperately don't want their dignity and their pride impugned by lessers in the Shanghai group. And so they just sow the seeds of hatred on both sides and generate true fucking hatred on both sides toward both sides. It's fucking excellent. I think it's fantastic. Okay, I want to show you something. Please come to the place. The office being repainted, and then the crazy throne thing is fucking awesome. I do think it's a cool-ass chair. This is a weird thing to say, but I love Akemi's just like, oh, you got me a $40,000 custom leather plush chair with built-in super buttons. Meh, whatever. It's such a good moment of like, I'm a fucking crime boss. You gotta go further to impress me. And the truth is, he has. The kill switch doesn't work, which is also hilarious because it's like Huh, okay. You better have something else up your sleeve. And it turns out he does, in the form of a blade. A hidden blade, which is ridiculous and very silly in many ways. Like, she can just snap her fingers and have a couple of gun-toting soldiers come in the door and shoot them, right? Like, whatever. Like, expecting her to get in a sword fight with Chen and Liu is silly. But, but, and this is where narrative convenience and stuff is fine by me. Rule of cool, baby. Badass older swords lady, leader of a Yakuza gang. I'm in. It's hot. Not like hot, but like, that's hot. Woo! You know. I think it's great. I think it's good. I think it's very funny. And of course, we go to the other side and we see that both plans are on both sides of everything. And we get this whole conversation, and he reveals to us that it's the same necktie. We get this conversation, and I don't... oh, no, he's talking to that side of the organization. Everybody's talking it out. Abby's the only one who seems to recognize that there's something fucked up. Again, I love these backgrounds. I think they're excellent. And Edamura Makoto takes off his tie, looks at it, and makes a phone call. And the plan is about to go underway. I also really like this sequence. The fuzzy bokeh'd out cityscape behind him is great, but the thing that I really love is the like purplish light spewing into the room. I think it's gorgeous. Also the little detail of like the flowers and the classic painting on the wall. Super cool. Okay. I like this episode quite a bit. This sets up the actual action as we move forward effectively and transitions us and spends a lot of time transitioning us from the past to the present. There are some elements that irk me about the way that Edamura is being treated, both in-world and like in a meta sense. And I don't know if I've done the best job of explaining why I feel the way that I feel about that. But I do feel some kind of way about it. If you've got your own opinions about the way that Edamura, like, his role in this arc, or the way that he's being treated by other people, or the way that he's being treated as a character in a more like in a zoomed out perspective where we're looking at this as a piece of media as opposed to an actual story happening in world. If you have your own opinions about that kind of stuff, I would love to read them. I would love for you to throw those in the comment section down below, so that we can talk about the way Edamura is being treated as a character and some of the sort of dangerous issues around trauma and lies and untruths and the way that those should affect a character in media, I think. I don't know. Maybe you're just like, fuck it. It's a story. It doesn't matter. He's going to react how he reacts, and they're going to treat him how they treat him. The important thing is that we tell a good heist and resolve the story in an effective way. And to some extent, I read that and I understand it. But I do have my own issues with it. And I don't know if I've explained them completely. So I'd love to open the discussion up to everybody else. See what your thoughts are about it. Feel completely free to hard disagree with me. Hopefully that'll foster some cool discussion and maybe some arguments that I can get involved in as well, about the way that this is portraying such events and such like psychological states and stuff. Beyond that, we're going to call it for the day. This has been episode 21 of Great Pretender. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have, and I hope to catch you next week when we will certainly finish it off with the last 2 episodes. Great. See you there. Peace.